Alright, it's a very different and interesting VOD we're doing. So this is going to be for Duke, who's playing Torb exclusively on Dorado, and this is Master 1 on PC, so I think this is the highest one I've done so far. And before we go any further, I actually want to talk a little bit about Torb's stats, because I need to refresh myself a little bit. I like a general feel for it, but I wanted to look up the numbers again. His regular left click does 70 damage per 127 DPS. His shotgun does 125 per right click, 178 DPS, so that is the better option at close range. Turret does 56 DPS. Sorry, I'm still sick. 56 DPS. When overload happens, it gives out 40% extra attack speed. So left click becomes 175 DPS. It's actually nuts. And right click is 159. Again, that's without any headshots. Molten Core does 25 on impact, which I didn't even know it did impact damage, and then it does 160 DPS after that if you stay in the pool, or 250 DPS versus armor. Okay, so let's read out what Duke said in their post. I found recently that I've been winning more consistently with Torb, and I've been playing him almost exclusively until losing my last many games. I'm actually curious how many games it's been. Last season, I peaked Master 5, Soldier and Junkrat. After this match, I received a notification that I have been avoided by a significant number of my recent teammates, which obviously isn't too good. It has to do with my gameplay because I didn't join voice and I rarely type in chat. This match is a few games into my consistent lose streak. I also say Emong's also on the other team. I don't know if this is actual Emong, but your Masters won, so it's very well possible. Anyway, you said this is on PC. I think defense went well, but attack was absolutely useless to my team. That is correct. I already saw the video replay. I watched the replay myself, and I think I pushed up when I definitely shouldn't have, resulted in me dying when I shouldn't have. I think also swapping someone else to help contest high ground might have been a good idea, but looking for additional thoughts. Any input is greatly appreciated. Okay, cool. Let's talk a little about Torb. I'm not like a big Torb player. I probably played, 10 hours of Torb in my life or something like that, but I'm pretty sure I can still help you out. So for Torb, what's Torb good at? Number one, I would say most of all, space control, right? Between his good poking, like really good, distance poking, and his turret, right? And the fact that he's basically not diveable means he's really, really good at holding space from the enemy. Not like the entire enemy running into you, right? You're not a tank, but he certainly can control flankers. He can control a single dive tank, right? He's also really good at shredding tanks. His DPS against tanks is excellent. 178 DPS with shotgun is no joke. And when he overloads, he does 260 DPS, which is like you're bordering in on like Bastion level of damage. And you're not killable by tanks. So very, very dangerous. And then obviously Molten Core is also used as the general theme of space denial. It absolutely melts tanks because of the bonus against armor. You can use it to kill DPS, kill supports, and generally prevent them moving card forwards. So the general theme here for Torb is, you put turrets up, you decide what space you want to control. I mean, obviously Torb's better on defense than he is on offense, but on defense, let's just talk about that. Right, control the space that the enemy wants to take and make them go a different way. Because you can't stop everything, right? You can't shut down and be like, oh, I'm not going to let you go anywhere. That's not the kind of hero you are. You can just prevent them going some places. So, for example, in Dorado, I would think, I want to deny this space, and I want to deny this space, okay? I want to deny all of high ground and force them all to funnel through main. And at that point, it's up to the rest of my team to stop them, Like, I've done my job if I can control high ground. And should be the general perspective here, and I think you lose that perspective. And on offense, it's going to be very similar, where it's still about space control. You need to take space away from the enemy, but partially in order to do that, you need to deny some space from them in order to let your team move up, and you really, really fail on offense. So, another note to point out is that overloads are very, very important. When you pop overload, it gives you bonus health, it gives you bonus DPS, like you're very, very dangerous, and you move faster. It's like a stim pack equivalent from StarCraft. Like you're just super good in every single possible way. And when you don't have overload, you're just much weaker, but not like useless by any means. Still like reasonably dangerous. 178 DPS from shotgun is basically what Soldier does regularly. So still very dangerous close range. I mean, the primary issue is that you have a very large, bulky hitbox, and so you're very, very easy to hit for pretty much everyone in the game. Anyway, you put this turret up. I think for starters, I don't know that I want this turret to be visible because it's going to get poked down pretty easily. I think I'd rather put the turret here. I'm no Torb player, right? So you can take my turrets with a grain of salt. I think I'd rather put the turret here. And the reason being is that it can stop dive up here and it can shoot the far side. And I know there's almost no way that it's going to get poked down. Right? Putting it here is going to be fine, but once they round this corner, which is inevitable, there's nothing on your team that's going to stop them from rounding a corner, they're definitely going to kill this turret. And then you're going to have to split your attention trying to deal with the turret versus right? Your turret should not be your primary goal. And I'm saying this, I'm sure you know this. Your Master 1 Torb better than me at Torb for sure. But Torb should not, turret should not be your focus as Torb, right? Just like as Rein, shielding is not your focus. Rein is a hammer tank, right? You find people to hit with your hammer, you use the shield to help you do that. Same thing for Torb, right? You should use the turret. You have a job to do, which is to find enemy people, shoot them, deny space. The turret helps you do that, but don't become a slave to your turret, right? Don't worry too much about like, oh, I absolutely must put it in the right spot or keep my turret alive or whatever. No, you're very dangerous on yourself, by yourself. Buckles up here. Come over to help you fall out. Micro optimization. You're clearly giving up on this, right? Reload right now. You know, you're missing 5 shots. Just reload. So you hear the tracer right now, start blinking, and you have to recognize, okay, that's your job to deal with. Okay, it is 100% your job to shut down this tracer and prevent her from getting any value. So hopefully between your ball, soldier, and your spam, like you should be able to keep the cart moving much forward. But you definitely don't want to let the tracer go crazy here. See, the tracer does a good trick here. Use a jump, double blink, I think. Yep, that's a good technique. Really good technique. I never even knew about this. I want to see this again. Oh, she does a single blink. Damn. Okay, yeah, she does a single blink to get up here. And then now she's pressuring your Lucio right into the ball. And you're just kind of spamming, but like this spam is not effective, you know? It would be far more valuable to chase after this tracer and either get a kill or force her to rewind and go back to the cart. Okay? I really want you to think about that more. Is like, is this spam that you're doing of any value? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, you're not really hitting anything anyway. You're not aggressively moving the cart regardless. Like, just deal with the tracer. Ball comes in right now, almost knocks you off. You can't do a ton about the ball. Like, obviously, damage him. My turret's getting hit. Like, obsess about it. If you some. Watch out for this one. Fish dead. So they're down 1. You should definitely think about the possibility of dropping right now to try to clear out these two stuck in the spot. Right? That's what your team is doing right now. I think that I probably would drop here. Just to make sure the Ana dies and continue to stagger. Enemy spotted. See, like right now, I really think that you should think about finishing up. See, the turret gets poked out right now. There's an enemy here. Though I guess it would have died regardless, even if you put it in a different spot. There's an enemy here. This. So you walk all the way over here. There's a pocketed Ash, right? You're very lucky. Team has killed 2. You pick this time to not aggress. You're running around in the back line. You lost 1, lost 2, and now the fight's over. So, my question is, what are you doing here, right? You go on this long rotation, and if this is lower ranks, I'd be like, okay, this is just like general not awareness. But like, the fight is happening in earnest. You know what I mean? Like, people are committed here. There's like a lot going on right now, and you should be down here, like, helping with this fight, but you're just expecting the game to be much more static, you know, and maybe that's what you're used to at like lower levels, but you're expecting like, okay, they're gonna group us 5, we're gonna group us 5, and they're gonna walk through. At higher levels, that's not typically what happens. It's like a much more dynamic, like, hey, like, look for kill opportunities anywhere you can type situation. And your team, remember when I pointed out, your team kind of recognizes this ball's overextended, doesn't have enough health, he goes for the kill, then 2-on-1 with the Genji, right? But then the Ashe comes in, big hit on the Lucio, and then, you know, a dash, and everything goes around. Meanwhile, you're just walking around the back line, putting down a turret of questionable value. Like, even this turret, I don't even think this is a good spot for the turret. You know? I think they would eventually just turn the corner and just kill the turret and then move on with their lives. So now you're down 2, right? They're down 1. And what? Okay, now you see the dive go in, you hear it, right? You're still spamming the cart. Like, you have no ability to stop their push by yourself. Like, you have to play around teammates and keep teammates alive. You're just spamming away with nothing, right? There's no plan to stop the ball. You're super overextended right now. Like, you have to recognize, hey, like, ball's coming back. It's going to be 5-on-3, right? 5-on-3, 5-on-2. You can see that your tank is nowhere close to being able to contest. You stand out in the middle and you get the kills. And I'm trying to process here because I'm trying to understand what is going on. Because this is very weird, right? You were Masters 5 with Soldier Junkrat, which is great, you know, great. already, top 1% of the player base or so. Then you got from Masters 5 all the way to Masters 1 playing Torb, like one-tricking, which is super weird. Like, I don't think I ever really heard of that. Like, playing just one hero, especially a very off-meta hero like Torb, which is not bad. I think it's totally possible. But you must have been very, very good at Torb to get from Masters 5 to Masters 1. But now you're losing a lot. And I'm like, okay, well, I wonder why that is. And then I go and look at this game, and this is not even, like, a bad game for Torb. You know what I mean? It's not like they're running, like, a Pharah Sigma, and you're like, wow, I really just can't get any value in Torb, right? They're running Dive. You're very, very good at this. Like, you're literally undiveable. The only person here who poses any threat to you is the Ashe. And you could actually poke out Ashe reasonably, too. Like, the fact that they're running Genji, if you're running Torb, I'd be thrilled. Like, if I was playing on your team, I'd be like, oh, great, you're going to stop the Genji, right? Genji or Tracer or whomever it was. Like, I'm very happy with this, right? Same thing for ball. I don't think the ball's going to do very much because you're just constantly going to be on the ball. And your overall positioning here, plus the fact that you couldn't hit any spam, makes this very strange. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me why you're in this game. And it's funny that I already feel that way from the very first fight. Because you don't really get any value here. You don't try to deny space. You weren't aggressive when you saw the opportunity to go down after you headshot the Ana. This is odd. And I don't know exactly what's going on here, and I don't know if we have the full picture as to what's happening. I don't know if it's like you just feel depressed and you're like down and not playing your best, but this does not feel like Masters 1 level gameplay to me. And I think we'll continue to see.
Show them what you've got. Watch out for this one.
So right now, your ball is clearly looking to try to do a final contest. I don't know why you're poking the Ashe. You can't realistically there, right? Go forward and get ready to do the contest. Like you got to get up here, start claiming some space, right? Take this spot, or even go far side and get ready to contest and try to get 2 fights out of the first point. Instead, you're just spending your time spamming the Ashe. But it's like you've got a mercy pocket as well. Like there's no way that the Ashe is stay up there. She's staying. There are other little micro details here that also surprise me. So for example, right now you're at 11 ammo. Remember previously when I mentioned that you didn't reload? You don't reload right now either. Right? Like you spam, okay? Right now, I would expect you to reload. Because you saw the Ashe left the angle. You know you're getting ready for the next fight. Why would you not reload? Right? You're just looking down at the ground. It's not like you're expecting or you heard the ball come in and you expected there to be a ball. And this is very strange coming from a Masters level player. Like even Masters 5, like this doesn't make any sense that you didn't reload a third of your ammo right now when you had the opportunity. It's just so rare to run into players that get all the way up to high Masters that don't have like the basic. This is like a pretty straightforward like reloading 101 mechanic. Again, right? You continue this, okay? You see the Genji, think about shooting at him, or you shoot one shot. That's fine. Right? That's totally I think it's reasonable. Then you're like, okay, you're clearly not going to shoot him anymore, which is great, but you don't reload. You should reload right now. You still haven't reloaded. You're still running around with 10 on the air. Like, you finally reload now.
The checkpoint.
This is crazy to me. Let's not like I'm really trying to understand here, like what's happening. The captain really wanted to get that pick. I do not think Poppy will reload here. There's no way anyone's killing this ball. Okay, he just slammed you two. He's with adaptive shields. He's gonna get like 400 health back. You're not gonna do any damage to him before he gets away. This is a waste of overload. 5 seconds. Right, so let's watch. Right, overload's a critical ability. Right, super long cooldown. You get slammed.
Time to let off some
Actually,
steam.
for the record, you pop overload after you get slammed. I think. So you don't even. First of all, give him.
Time to let off some steam.
Ult charge for hitting you, versus if you overloaded first, you wouldn't. A. But B, so you've already taken damage here. Now, one shot into the ground, second shot into the ground, third shot into the ground. Put a turret down.
Let's get started.
One shot into the ball, miss a shot. Like these shots have no chance of hitting the Ana. Is that true? No, I guess it's hittable. It's hittable.
My ultimate Josh.
Right? But they all end up being misses. Not like you want to get with it. Like, was that a value overload? No, that was like an awful overload. I don't think that accomplished anything. I think you could have done the exact same thing, just shooting him. Right? I don't think that you can overload them all. Faster cooldown than I remember. So it's not as big of a mistake. I don't think you want this turret to stay alive here. Like, you can't, this can't be like, oh, optimal turret placement sitting in the middle of the road like this. Right? Like, this, you gotta have better options here. Like, if I had the brainstorm for, for this point, like, thinking about it, I think putting the turret right here would be pretty effective, right? Covering this entire back line. I think holding high ground and putting turret over, like, here would be super good, right? Or over here. That way you can cover high ground completely, you can cover the left flank, and then if the cart goes underneath, you'll also be ready. I do not think this turret in the middle of the road makes any sense.
I'm overloading!
Okay, so another overload, and then...
I'm
what happens?
overloading!
Into the cart, there's no one here. Right, miss, 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 miss. Miss? That's not even close. That's way over the Genji's head. Miss? Miss? That level's close. At least that one's wildly off. And then Blade is popped. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if you're boosted. I don't know if this is not actually Masters 1. I have no clue what is happening. But the fact that you just pop Overload, right, fired 10 shots in 5 seconds and missed all of them, a lot of them wild misses, is so bizarre to me. I do not understand why you're in this game, to be perfectly honest. And this is not meant to be a diss at you. I'm like, my critical thinking brain, I'm like trying to rack my brain for like to try to understand like what the heck is happening in this game. Okay, so Nano Blades popped. I think the correct response here is to pop. Well, it's tough because high ground is here. I think ideally you would already be on high ground. I think we'll cover that later. But I think I would pop Molten Core and use it defensively to prevent him getting value from Blade. Because trading Molten Core for Blade, for Nano Blade, great, right? If he pops Nano Blade, I use Molten Core, he doesn't do anything, fantastic. Love that trade. Like he said, you really should be dead right here. It's shocking that the Genji did not manage to kill you. You decide to run forwards instead while you're already nearly dead, instead of trying to deal with Genji in the background. You see how low he is? You should just shot him. Decide over here. He has no value. Right? What the heck is this? What the heck is this Molten Core? Like, okay, I guess you're displacing him, but like everybody else needs to pop over here. Come on, you're the last one to go. Right? Visor's already active right now. Okay, Kitsune Rush is active right now. Why are you popping more? This is stuff you need to learn back in time. Very strange. Yeah, you should have saved it. So the other thing is, why are you playing on low ground? Okay, you understand that they have a dive lineup, right? They have Ball and they have Genji. Okay, they're playing dive for sure. Why are you holding the ground? There's no meaningful fight that's gonna happen on the ground until they clear high ground. If you just keep your soldier alive on high ground, they can never advance. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you stay up here and keep the Ball and the Genji from doing anything to your team, you're good. You have this point locked up. Why are you constantly sitting around? Very odd, right? Genji goes up there. Like, you're not getting any value. You're not even farming overload. Up there, pop overload. Right? Very good.
Enemy here!
I think that Bob hit the turret.
An enemy here!
I think another Bob stopping the turret. Honestly, that's pretty good value. Because Bob would have been in a much better position otherwise. Hit the Bob, which is like, okay. It wasn't really hurting him. Again, Genji's in on your backline. Really drop turret right now to try to help kill the Genji. Of all people, I don't understand why you're shooting the ball. I saw the Genji dash past you.
Overloading.
Why are you not going for the Genji right now? You're just shooting at the ball. Genji trying to kill Kiriko. Now you put down turret super late. Now it's a bad turn, right? Kill the ball, which is silly. Put down turret down. You're just missing every shot. Now it's 5 on 2. Gotta get out.
A lot.
So you're gonna come back again. Looking at this setup, I think you want to go top left, right? Top left, put turret down, and then drop if you need to. I would start. So you're gonna run an issue where like stuff is gonna happen around you where you can't do anything to help, which is exactly what's gonna happen here. So Genji's bladed on your left again. You don't like see the air up there.
Let off some steam.
Like, you don't seem to show any awareness of like, oh, I should go help my teammates. Like, it's kind of like, I just want to spam main. Understand when it hurts, spam main. Seems to be your general. I'm sure you're a perfectly nice person, but like, you are dramatically underperforming for a Masters win. Like, if you showed me, like, everybody else on your team is playing well, but if you showed me this gameplay alone and you told me this was like gold, I would believe you. I'm like very confused with that. Okay, so you see the Ashe. The second you see this Ashe, you should have immediately backed up and played the stair and spam from the stair. That way you only have it's like a headshot box, right, from Counter-Strike. So only your head is visible. Instead, you decide to wide peek here, going further to the left. She's damaged. She can kill you in 2 hits.
Watch out for
It's
this
actually
one.
bonkers that not actually look down. It's like actually more aggressive. You get direct again, you force overload, you're not going to win anything. Again, where the heck is your turret? I guess it's like down on low ground, which is not great because it's going to get poked out very easily. I think, again, you should have put it on high ground. I think something like a turret, you know, over here or something would have been super good to defend right side. I don't know if it goes that far, but to help theoretically defend right side and help you left side. Again, fight is happening in earnest. Saw Soldier get slept over here, I think. Yeah, Soldier gets slept. Like, you're the recognize, okay, like, I really need to do something right now, and not against the ball. I need to kill their backline or this fight is over. You have to advance. I don't know what this score is. You're like spamming around the point as though this is overtime. You know? Like, who cares? They're just going to kill the rest of your team and then kill you. You find the Ana, just gets to the one spot where she has nowhere to actually go, and then she dies, which is great. Like, we'll take that, I guess.
Screw still
I still think it was a good hold score. Okay, Bob's in. Break hit it. No way we're killing this Bob. I just continue shooting the rest of the team. I guess I'm okay with her. I don't know why you popped overload. Right. Look, by the time you start shooting at the enemy, you only have 1 second of overload left. Wasted 3/4 of your overload.
Pick on someone your own size.
Again, your long range scan accuracy is very, very poor. It's like generally on target, but you're not. It's like the right distance, but your left-right targeting is not good. Like your left-right prediction is very another overload that has no value. I think the Masters 1 player should have been able to hit this Ana, who's moving exclusively to the right. Right? Like, you basically had 3 shots at this Ana. 1, 2, 3, 4 shots, and you hit one hit on her. And she's moving in a straight line left to right, 15 meters away. That's really bad for Masters. Really, really bad for Masters. You're on the Ana, which is great. You're gonna die. We're gonna open low. Again, you see the Genji dash. You saw how low he was. You should turn immediately to try to kill the Genji. Die. You come back. things are so strange that I feel like I'm almost like, do I understand how Torb works? Like, are you actually providing massive value through your turret and through simply existing that I'm not aware of? Because it looks like you're doing nothing. You said your offense you thought your offense went or defense went well, and I'm like, I don't think you're doing anything. All I see you doing is missing a ton of shots. Like, your turret's like okay, I think I see you miss a ton of left clicks. I see you miss a ton of right clicks. I think I see you waste a ton of overloads. And I see you have highly questionable overlords.
0-1.
So, if that's what well looks like for Torb, then I guess I just don't understand how Torb works. Okay, so let's watch offense. Everything's very, very good. So as usual, right? Perfectly fine. They sit on high ground. You should expect this, right? Every game looks like this. They sit up on high ground, they always kind of pain, get to the choke, and once you
I see great.
I don't know if it's down top of turn. Do a bunch of spam, none of it hits, so you got one hit. Right, Reaper's here, you really need to get on the Reaper. Great. Sigma drops. As soon as Sigma drops, I understand, okay, we're playing Brawl here. Right? They do not want they don't feel the need to have to play back the choke. They've decided that they're gonna try to get 2 fights by being greedy and playing up close, which is actually great. So if your team was significantly better than theirs, right, you would roll them here, and then they would never get another fight because of how much space you would take after that. But they feel like they had the right lineup, or they're better than your team. They can try to force 2 fights on on the first point by playing up here and playing close. Now, a big reason why they're able to pull this off is that you just don't do any damage. Sigma Rock. I mean, I feel like you should have kept going to the left there, but I mean, not the biggest deals. It just did not feel like a successful start for you. Fine,
Payload's online. Let's move.
So I don't know why the turret is dropped there. Like, do you think the Reaper is gonna like teleport back here and take a weird flank? Like, this is a waste of a turret. I guess you figure we'll have it back too, but likely. Okay, we're gonna get to the choke. Theoretically, overload again way too early. You're not really ready.
Overloading.
Shield's still up. Now you have the space. You're frontlining right now because your tank is not in, so you mistime this, and then you get absolutely blown up and killed. I don't know what to say. Like, this couldn't possibly be the right move for you, right? Like, you just need to chill, let your tank go in first, and then try to do something. Alright, come back again. Again, you're gonna have a big problem taking high ground here. Recognize it, yeah. Because you're just you're like disfavored in all unfavored in all matchups with hit scans up here, right? Soldier, Cassidy, Ashe, even Hanzo. There's no way that you could force them off high ground as Torb in this situation. He's just not good at it, right? That's not the strengths of Torb. Playing this long range spam angle is not good for you. Okay? What I think you should have done is you should have gone left, underneath, in here, and then put down a turret, like maybe like right here or something, and helped seize this space, right? From the mega room, because you can't go up the stair by yourself, right? That's not going to happen. From the mega room, this space. And that itself would force them to go back. And if they didn't, if they stayed up here, which I think is unlikely considering the fact that your ball's playing pretty well, then you can go up the stair and then kind of like take these fights, drop down, get mega, reset, and keep doing that over and over again until eventually they're forced back. I virtually guarantee if you went underneath, took this room, and used your turret to help, right? Especially if they like are insistent here, you could put turret like right down here, for example. You could force them back by yourself. But if you're trying to do this long range spam game, you're just not good at it. Your long range spam is not accurate at all. You're gonna let it turn down. I have as much value as I can. Pump overload, just destroy shield. Looks like just headshots there. So you got 2 minutes left to try to do something. as though you're a long-range hero.
You're all set up.
I see it moving.
Your turret gets killed instantly.
Burning the fellow. They outnumber us. Careful. Baby's under attack.
I don't know what's going on. Right? It's like, okay, you go here, you overload, you try to put some pressure, but for the record, where is your tank? Your tank is coming out of spawn. This is a 4-on-5, and they have high ground advantage. Why are you going in right now? What? Like this, you should have learned back in gold. I have no clue what is happening in this game.
My precious
This is one of the most puzzling games I've ever watched. I have now at this point, I have like 191 views at this point. I have never seen a game that completely at 100.
beauty.
I have no clue what that is. And the bad thing is, it doesn't feel like this is the right skill level. So, like, this is another good example. Okay? So your ball's like sort of in.
Full steam ahead.
Top molten core. Okay, and you're just running it up main, like full send. The second you see this window, you should be like, oh shit, I gotta duck. Instead, you're like, no, that's fine. I'm sure I can survive through window with a Baptiste and a Sigma shooting through it, and you get completely obliterated. So
I have seen where you some sinful man.
here, if like everything in this situation, right? At point blank, the Sigma one miss,
Like a
right?
cat walking around hot porridge.
Whiff,
Attack!
whiff, whiff, whiff. 5 in a row. And got 5 point blank shots against Sigma, and you missed all of them. That's bad. Okay. This is weird. I mean, you know, I usually summarize these with like, okay, here are the tips that I have for you. My tips are, what the heck are you doing here? Like, even if this is Masters 5, I have no clue what the heck you're doing here. Like, there has to be something that I don't understand about this game. About, like, how you got here. Right? I don't know if you're boosted, or you're playing significantly differently than you usually do, or you're just really bad at payload somehow, or really bad on Dorado specifically, but what I see is across everything, right? Between the aim, ability choice usage, right? Ultimate usage, positioning, like just generally keeping track of where your team is really, really, really poor. Yeah. Like, everything to be Masters 1, you would need a massive jump from where you are right now to where I think Masters 1 should be. And again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're actually providing like a tremendous amount of value on Torb in a way that I'm not seeing because I'm not looking at the turret all the time. But I feel like your turret placements were highly questionable in many of those situations and not really gaining much value. I think that your team played quite well, all things considered, to try to keep you in this game. And on attack, I think that you really got exposed very, very hard. Just continuing to do the same thing over and over again and just getting absolutely wrecked. Yeah. So I think the avoids are reasonable. If I were in this game, I would for sure. On either team, I would 100% avoid you. Like, I don't know how many. I think you got like maybe like 4 kills this whole game. 2 of them with Molten Core. Something like that. I'm trying to think. Did you even get a single kill with your gun? I don't think so. I don't think you got a single kill with your gun this entire game. Like, turret is like tagging you. You're like not getting any kills. You get a kill here on the Ana. Like, walking through
This
acid.
old screw still
No,
got
you
me.
don't get. Oh, yeah, you kill your on the Ana. Turret kills the ball here. So you have what, like two limbs right there? Or 2 final blows. I think you got a third one that I missed somewhere. I don't think you got a single kill with your gun. Right here, you definitely didn't get a kill. I don't think you got a live.
Make
Yeah, I don't think you even got. I don't think you got a kill with your gun the whole entire game. Okay, so I have no clue what to say. In short, I would say you are just based on this game. If this is representative of your gameplay, you are grossly overranked. I don't even think that you certainly don't belong in Masters. I don't even think you belong in Diamond. Like, this is maybe plat level gameplay so far that I have seen. And of course, like, people's movement gets worse, right, as the ranks go down. So there is a point. Maybe it's not truly gold. Maybe it is like platinum or something like that you do it. But I don't really understand like what possible tips I could give you, because all the things that you do are so wrong that it's really hard for me to imagine creating value. Like, we didn't even talk about like flanks or like space control or anything like that, because you had made so many basic mistakes, and I think that's really unfortunate, because I think it would have been interesting to talk about like flanking Torb and finding an off angle so you could like double tap the Ana or something like that. you just couldn't do any of that, and like repeatedly you just don't prioritize right things. Like the Genji would dash through you with like 50 health, and then you wouldn't kill him, and instead you keep shooting like a full health ball over and over and over again. Like, you basically farmed like 95% of your damage in this game off the enemy tank. You almost never shot or hit, at least, the supports or DPS at all, which is crazy to me. Yeah. I mean, your other question is like, should I swap to somebody else to contest high ground? Weirdly enough, I think this game was actually totally fine for Torb. I think you were playing Torb well, right? You could have defended high ground really, really well and prevented them getting through. I think on defense was fine. On offense, I don't think Torb was a great choice here, but I think Torb was viable if you help contest this area and help put pressure on the high ground. But you didn't do that. So it's really hard for me to recommend another hero, because your core game sense is like so poor that I don't know what you would do if I recommended another hero, right? If I'm like, oh, like imagine if you played Pharah here, or you played Genji, or you played like Reaper or something like that. Like, I don't know that you play them well. I don't know what level you can play them at. I mean, I guess you do say that you played Soldier and Junkrat. I think Junkrat would have been great here, right? Does a really good job, again, denying space to the enemy. You could have just spammed them out really quickly. Soldier, you could have, again, kept poking at this until you took high ground and then used window to get value there. Like, definitely good options, but I have no clue what level you play those heroes at. So I don't think fundamentally it's like, oh, you really lost this game because you're playing Torb. I think you lost this game because you played really poorly. So yeah, I hope this is helpful. I don't know. I feel kind of bad like ending on this, because I honestly don't really know what to say here. I don't understand how this happened, but I do not feel like you belong in this rank. Sorry.